Let's dive into the story without any introduction today because it's going to be a long story. So, here we go. The sons of the king were now grown up. They were nearing 16 and entering manhood. As was the custom, 16 was the age when a young man was to be married, and accordingly the king thought of it. King Dasaratha was wondering as to who the bride of Rama should be. Since Rama was the favorite son of the king, he could think only of Rama, and his mind was ever thinking of the many ways and means of pleasing Rama. Rama, on his part, thought of nothing else but making his father happy in every way. The kinship between them was so great that everyone in the palace or even Ayodhya knew about it. One day in the council hall, the king spoke to his ministers about the subject uppermost in his mind, the marriage of Rama and his brothers. As he was thinking thus, there arrived at the doorsteps of the king the sage Vishwamithra. He accosted the doorkeepers and said, "Go and announce to the king about my arrival. I am Kaushika. People call me Vishwamithra." The name was so well known that even the doorkeepers knew about him. They were greatly excited and with hurried steps went to the presence of the king. Entering the council hall, they rushed to the king and told him about the arrival of Vishwamithra. The king was greatly pleased that such an illustrious rishi should have come to see him. He got up from the throne and, accompanied by his preceptors, he went to receive the rishi. Dasaratha washed Vishwamithra's feet. He then offered arghya and other prescribed objects used for worshipping such guests. Accepting the welcome of the king with grace and with a smile, Vishwamithra entered the palace of the king. He made the conventional inquiries about the kingdom, about the subjects, about the welfare of the people, and in return, Dasaratha spoke about the ashram of the rishi, his tapas, and the welfare of the inmates of the ashram. When the formalities were over, Vishwamithra paid his respects to Vasishtha and the others. He accepted the seat offered to him. The king then spoke to Vishwamithra thus: "Your coming is like a godsend to me, like the divine nectar to a human being. I am indeed thrilled at the coming of a great personage like your gracious self. Can it be possible that I will be granted the privilege of doing something for you, something to please you? That a Brahma Rishi like you should have come to me on your own means some great good fortune to me. With the grace of the Lord above and with the blessings of men like you, I am in a position to offer the entire earth to you if you are so inclined. Please let me know if I can do anything for you." The Rishi was pleased with the devotion, affection, and humility of Dasaratha. He said, "I am not surprised at your words. Born as you are in the line of the Ikshvakus and having the great Vasishtha as your guru, it is but natural for you to speak with such words. Only men like you will carry out what they have promised. I have indeed come to ask a favor of you. I will give you the background. I have taken the Diksha for a yaga. It has to be completed, but I am not able to do so. Two Rakshasas, who are able to assume what shape they will, are proving to be a hindrance to my yaga. They are extremely skillful in fighting the Maya type of warfare, fighting without being seen. And they rain blood and flesh and such unclean objects into the Yagnashala and on the platform itself where I perform the yaga. All my endeavors to perform the yaga have gone waste, and I have come away from the spot without finishing the yaga. The yaga itself is of such a nature that there is no place for anger in my mind during the performing of it. I am not able to curse them, and I have to hold back my anger. I have come to you for help so that I can complete the yaga." "Tell me, my lord," said Dasaratha. He was greatly excited. He had fought on the side of Indra when there was war in the high heavens between the Devas and the Asuras, and the king from the earth had been able to assist Indra during the war. That was when he was granted the boon that he would be able to drive his chariot in all the 10 directions. The king was eager to hear more. "Tell me how I can help you," asked the king. "I want you to give me Rama, your eldest son." "Rama, the charming youngster who's a great warrior," said Vishwamithra. Before the king could put in a word, he said, "I will protect him. You need have no fear of that. This young man is sure to destroy those Rakshasas. I am certain of that. Have no doubt that this will mean nothing but great good fortune for your son. He will be famed in the 3 worlds for this act of valor, and I predict nothing but good for your son to follow in the wake of this act." The 2 Rakshasas will not be able to withstand Rama's powerful arrows. And again, Rama, and only Rama, is capable of destroying them. They are eaten up with pride, and they have come to the end of their lives. Dasaratha, do not let your fatherly affection make you hesitate in granting me my boon. The yaga is for 10 days and only 10 days. The evil ones are destined to be killed by Rama, and you can rest assured that they are dead already. I know Rama. I know his true nature. I know him and his unswerving devotion to truth. These great rishis, led by Vasishta, also know the truth about him. If you desire fame in this world and a great future in the next, you must give Rama to me for these 10 days. If you do but look at your ministers, you can see that they are wanting you to grant me my wish. Dasaratha thought of the youth of his beloved son Rama, and to his mind came the dreadful forms of the Rakshasas, who could assume whatever form they chose, and who were Mayavis. He fell down senseless, and for a while, for the duration of a muhurta, he was like that. He regained consciousness and then said, "My Lord, please be merciful. My Rama, my child, with the eyes like the lotus, is hardly 16 years old. I am not able to imagine him fighting with Rakshasas you speak of. I am an old veteran in the art of fighting. My entire army is at your service, my Lord. I will accompany you, and with my army to assist me, I will fight with the Rakshasas. I have fought before in the war with the Danavas when the Devas were harassed by them, and I am sure I can vanquish these 2 troublemakers. They are able to use astras, and I will be able to give them good fight. I will protect your yaga and help you bring it to a successful conclusion. Please do not ask Rama to face the Rakshasas. His education is hardly over, and he is not strong enough to know how fierce the proposed fight will be. Ask for me. Even if an hour passes without seeing my beloved child, my eyes become blurred with tears, and I feel as though my very life is ebbing away from me. Please do not ask me to send my Rama with you. If you insist on Rama coming with you, then let me also come along with my army. Rama is my very life. After so many years of childlessness, he has been granted to me and is very dear to me. I have 4 sons, but Rama is most dear to me, as is well known the world over. Tell me about the Rakshasas. Who are they? How did they acquire so much power? Who protect them? Where do they come from?" Vishwamithra said, "In the line of the famed Pulastya is born a Rakshasa by name Ravana. He is a very powerful warrior and a brave fighter. He has pleased Brahma with his penance and has obtained boons from the Creator. He is now bent on persecuting rishis and all good people. He has defeated Kubera, his half-brother, in battle and has snatched from him the Pushpaka, a chariot which can fly in the air. Ravana is the son of Vishravas, and he is famed in all the 3 worlds. These 2 Rakshasas, Maricha and Subahu, are his henchmen. They are bent on doing harm to people like me, who are bent on tapas and actions which spell good for the world. Rama has to rid the world of them." The king's expression was piteous when he heard about the Rakshasas. He said, "Unfortunate man that I am in danger of losing my beloved son. My lord, how can I assume that this youngster will be able to stand in front of such powerful Rakshasas and fight with them? I have been told that the Devas and the Gandharvas and all the denizens of the heavens are not able to stand up to Ravana. How then can this child of mine, my Rama, who is not at 16, how can he fight with the henchmen of Ravana? I've heard it said that the valor of those who fight with him is absorbed into him, and his opponents lose all their prowess. Rama is the scion of my race. I dare not give him to you. I will not give him to you. Subahu and Maricha are not the proper adversaries he should encounter in his first taste of fighting. I will fight, my lord, but please do not ask me to give my child." Vishwamithra's patience was at an end. Like a sacrificial fire which burns brighter when ghee is poured into it, the words of the king made him more and more angry, and finally his anger knew no bounds. He looked at the king with his eyes glowing and said, "You made elaborate promises and now you are trying to go back on your word? This does not bring credit to the illustrious Raghuvamsa of which you are a descendant. If you think you are doing the right thing, I will go back to where I came from. Having broken your promise to your guest, you can live happily with your kinsmen surrounding you." When he spoke thus, the earth trembled in fear, since his anger was known to all. Still, the king sat silent. Blinded as he was by his love for his son, he did not realize what he was doing. Vasishta, his mentor, now spoke to him. He said, "Dasaratha, you are born of the line of the Ikshvakus. You are expected to be a personification of Dharma himself. You are a righteous man and are well versed in the rules of conduct. You should not behave thus and stay away from the path of Dharma. The world calls you Dharmatma, and you should not besmirch the name of your ancestors and yours too by this action of yours. Once you say that you will do a thing and then hesitate to do so, it is an act unworthy of good men, and it will rob you of all the punya you have accumulated so far. Send Rama with the Rishi and save your name and that of your family. This illustrious son of Kushika will guard Rama like the wheel of fire does the pot filled with Amrita. No Rakshasa can approach this son of yours, however mighty he may be. I am sure of that. Vishwamithra is a very image of Dharma, and he is a great man. He is a man of great intellect, and his tapas is his wealth. He is proficient in all the Shastras and the sacred lore. No one in all the three worlds can gauge the greatness of Vishwamithra. He knows the past, the present, and the future. Please send your son with him without any qualms. Do you think it is hard for this great man to kill those two Rakshasas who are wisps of straw in his presence? He can do it. But he wants your son to achieve greatness, and that is the reason why he is honoring you by asking you for Rama. Please realize the honor which has been granted to you and wake up from this delusion called Putra Sneha. When Vasishta spoke thus, Dasaratha was convinced and woke up from his mental stupor. He fell at Vishwamithra's feet and craved his pardon. He then said, "In my blind love for my child, I spoke hastily. Please forgive me and accept my son. I am sending him with you, and I am happy to do so. Rama is never alone and Lakshmana will always be with him. Please take them both." The words of Vasishtha had convinced the king that the prince was taken by Vishwamithra for the good of the youngster, and his words of apology to the rishi were sincere. He sent for Rama and Lakshmana. Kausalya had heard about the decision of the king to send the children with the rishi, and as the word reached her that the king wanted them, she had prepared them for the journey. Taking leave of their mothers, the handsome young men came and stood before their father. They saluted all the rishis in the great hall, and then they prostrated before their father. They were so handsome that Vishwamithra could not take his eyes off their faces. Rama was dark like a blue lotus, and Lakshmana was fair. Both had long liquid eyes, and their smiles were bewitching. They stood with folded palms in front of their father. Dasaratha said, "My dear Rama, Lakshmana, the great sage Vishwamithra has come to me with the sole purpose of taking you with him. Go with him and obey his commands in every way as you would mine." The children spoke not a word, but went and stood by the side of the rishi after saluting their father and the others in the hall. The wind blew softly and gently, and all the omens were good when they left the palace. All those in the hall went up to the doorway to bid adieu to them, and they were amazed to see the rain of flowers from the heavens and the distant music of heavenly drums. Vasishtha looked at the king as if to say, "I told you that it is for the good of your sons that the great Vishwamithra came to you, asking you to lend them to him." And that's all for today. See you in another video. Thank you.